What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a spoiler vlog for Where The Crawdads Sing. A spoiler vlog just means that I'm going to have spoilers throughout the whole entire video. I will be updating very often actually. It's definitely a lot more often I can update with a spoiler vlog than with a regular vlog because I can tell you guys like my true thoughts and what I'm feeling and what's going on and all that kind of stuff. If you haven't read this book and you don't want to know what's going on, then maybe just come back to this video when you have read it. I do know a movie is going to be coming out. I don't know if it's next year or the year after that, but you could always come back to this video after that if you want. I don't know, you probably won't even remember this video exists. But if you have read this book, then you can definitely watch for all of my thoughts, which is one of the reasons why I love doing spoiler vlogs, because you get to hear exactly what I think about it, especially if it's a book you've already read before. Now, I actually don't know really anything about this book. My sister read it and she told me that I actually would probably really like it because it's part historical fiction in like the years that I think I like historical fiction. And then it's also part mystery. And I think she also said it's emotional, and those are a lot of things that I really like. I don't know if I should read the synopsis. Maybe I will really quick. Oh yeah, it says in 1969, and I love like 60s and 70s, even a little bit of the 50s I would guess. And so that's why I decided to pick this up, even though I usually don't read historical fiction or like literary fiction. We're gonna try it out. You know what? I'm not even going to read the synopsis. I'm just not. I saw the 1969 and that's it. I'm just gonna go ahead and start reading the very first chapter. Oh, is there a map? Oh, okay. This must be Where The Crawdads Sing. Okay, this is the map. By the way, I got this really cool moon bookmark that I am loving right now. This is from my friend Heather. I'm pretty sure I've showed some of her other bookmarks here on my channel. She just has like an actual Instagram and an email. So if you're interested in her bookmarks, you can just use that. She doesn't have like an actual website or anything for them, but you can, you know, ask what she has. But I am loving this right now. Like this is gonna be perfect for like Halloween and fall time. Oh, can't wait for those vibes. Ooh, stormy storm. Okay, so it's the afternoon. I kind of got sidetracked just doing nothing on my phone, watching TikTok for a while, because I'll be honest, it was a little hard for me to get into this book at first. There's a lot of like description and it keeps going back and forth between the years, so I really have to like pay attention. Like this is a book that I'm listening to on audio and I have the physical copy, but like I have to pay attention to the physical copy. I can't just like listen to the audio and like do other things because there's a lot going on. So I'm now at chapter 8, which is page 58. And so far about this girl named Kaya in like the 1950s, because I think the year keeps going from like 1952 to 1969. So 1969 is when they find like a dead body, like these random people in this marsh. And they think it's the marsh girl, which is like what they think is a ghost or like haunted by. But in reality, I think it is Kaya. She's the marsh girl. And what happened was like back in 1952, I think her dad is an alcoholic and her mom like up and left, and she has a bunch of siblings. So like her mom up and left, and then all of her siblings like left too, and so she ended up being the only one left in this marsh like with her dad, and he will leave like days on end and just leave her there. And so she had to like learn how to cook and clean and do a bunch of stuff, and she's only 7. Like she had her 7th birthday. And so far like that's pretty much it. Like I don't know who the person that's murdered is. I have no clue why her mom and siblings would have just left her there with the alcoholic father. I'm hoping it's gonna go into more detail for that because I literally have no clue. Like I even listened to the beginning first chapters twice because the first time I listened to them, I wasn't retaining any information. So I went back and listened again because I was like, okay, what is happening now? Ooh, you hear that thunder? I have about 300 pages left. I'm liking it. Like, it is decent. Because of it being like a little slow paced and having a lot of description, I don't really see it being a 5-star, but it could. Like, I'm so far in the beginning that I could really be getting invested like in the characters, especially if it's like emotional and stuff. But right now I just see it being like a pretty decent book for me. Like, I don't hate it at all, which is good. I'm not struggling or anything like that. But it's definitely a lot slower than some of the other books I've been reading recently. Look how awesome that storm looks. It just looks so good. I love storms. I love like sitting here. I'm just on the front porch and that thunder though. I hope you guys can hear it. But yeah. The last few days, I would say, we've been getting like these really cool afternoon storms, and so I love sitting out here and watching it kind of like pass by. It looks so nice. Okay, what's up you guys? I read nothing yesterday because I actually detailed my car, cleaned my whole car with my brother, and it's looking real nice right now. But I'm actually headed to where I need to go for my IUI because I woke up this morning and I got a positive ovulation test. So my IUI is scheduled at 2. But I'm gonna leave a little bit early because I have some books to return to like my old library where I used to live, and I'm also probably gonna stop at like TJ Maxx and do a little shopping, maybe run into Target, see what type of fall things they might have out right now. So I'm gonna do that, and I might listen to Where The Crawdads Sing. I don't know, I'm feeling like a music mood right now though. Billie Eilish's new album came out and I've been loving it. I love like the middle part of Happily Ever After. Oh my gosh, it is so good. So good. So I don't know, I might actually listen to that instead of Where The Crawdads Sing, but I'm hoping to like either listen to some of it today or when I get back home after my IUI, like read some of it later, so that way I can update you guys on like my thoughts, how I'm feeling. It's definitely not a book that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to read it right now. So I kind of have to like push myself to like pick it up and read it. Also, I've been doing the curly hair process again. This is day 2. I did it yesterday and it was the first day I've done it since like a really long time, like since December. And all I did was wake up and this is how my hair is. And it's so nice because I didn't have to like refresh it or anything. I'm really liking these short curls. And so I'm hoping to grow my hair out longer with these nice, beautiful curls. Oh, look at that. Like, it looks so good. Anyway, so I'm really loving my hair and everything's going really well. So let's listen to some Billie Eilish and drive to my IUI.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow.
Okay, so I pretty much just got a bunch of candles, which is kind of what I was going for because I love their fall candles. I did find 2 of these Cup of Joe and it literally smells like a fresh brewed pot of coffee. I got 2 of them because I was like, that is so amazing. And then for the fall candles, I got, is this the Harvest one? Yeah, oh, this is Heirloom Pumpkin, which smells really good. And then I got a bunch of my all-time favorite, which is the White Pumpkin. So the White Pumpkin, it's like vanilla and pumpkin. I got 2 big ones and a small one. And then I got a plant holder that was on clearance for $6 because one of my plants is outgrowing its little pot. So I got this. And hopefully it fits on my bookshelf because that's where the plant is currently.
Wait, together, take me back where I belong. I want it all.
Okay, all done with my IUI. I think it went pretty well, really. I mean, you just go in, grab the sperm, sit there holding the sperm in the waiting room, like in a little tube. And then they call me back and you just kind of do it like you would a pap smear where you take off half of your clothes. And then they insert a like catheter all the way to my uterus and put the sperm in, and then you lay there for like 5 minutes until the timer goes off, and then you leave. And you just hope that in 2 weeks you have good news. I think I'm gonna go to Five Guys next because I'm hungry. And then I'll just quick swing by the library to drop off those books because I didn't do that yet. TJ Maxx, I was there for a little bit longer. And then I think I'm just gonna go home after that, I think. Gosh, I really wish that I could get a coffee right now. Starbucks coffee would be so good. Like a cold brew with sweet cream cold foam. I want it so bad right now. But we have water. Okay, went to Five Guys. Got myself a burger. It's Whole30 approved with mushrooms and onions. Oh, that looks so good. Guys, I'm literally almost home. I've been in so much pain from this IUI. It's like, it's just so much cramping and oh my gosh, I cannot wait to be home. I literally have been cramping for like 20 minutes and I've been having to drive the whole entire time and I just want to be home. I think I'll be home in like 5 minutes and I literally cannot wait. So I was listening to Where The Crawdads Sing. I got to part 2. I don't know what page number that's on because I haven't even opened the book to see. But it's just very slow going. Kaya, like, she is, I guess, like a teenager now, because it mentioned like her getting her period and she was like 14 at the time. This one little boy, like Tate, has been helping her over the years. He taught her how to read, and then they ended up like falling in love, but they kind of did like first and second base, but he like didn't like take her virginity or anything from her. But now he went off to college, so he left her there, and now she's talking to this guy Chase, who I think is the guy that ends up like dead. Well, not ends up dead, like he is the person that died, I guess, because it's like 2 parts and that's what the murder mystery part is. So I think they're trying to find out like why he died, and like how he died. But from what I've like been listening to so far, like I guess he is like trying to sleep with Kaya. Anyway, so I might have like missed some things because it was really hard to like pay attention while I was driving in pain, but I think I got most of the gist, and when I'm not in pain, I'll go back and like re-listen to some of those parts with the book, so that way I know that I'm like I'm correct in what I'm like saying and thinking. Okay, what's up? This is always such a weird position because, there we go. Is that too tall? That might be too tall. Is that too short? Okay. Anyway, it's because Alvin's home today and I don't want to bother him while he's like doing some work stuff, playing games, whatever he's doing. But anyway, I wanted to update you guys because I only have a little portion of Where The Crawdads Sing left, and I really just want to like get through it and finish it because I'm still very, very bored. I will explain like what we've gone through so far. So I think the last time I updated you guys, I was kind of at the like halfway point. I think I told you about Kaya and Tate. Tate was the one that was like teaching her how to read, and then he ended up going away. Oh. He always does that. He's not allowed in here because there's carpet. but anytime I close the door and I don't have it fully shut, he always pushes it open with with his face. Anyway, okay, so Tate taught Kaya how to read, and they've been friends like since they were little kids. He actually goes away to college because they actually were like falling in love, but he goes away to college, and then she actually meets this guy named Chase Andrews, and he's kind of like pushy, like trying to take her virginity or whatever, but then like also kind of being like, oh, you know, let's get married. But then she finds out that he actually goes and gets married to someone else. She read it in like the newspaper or something like that. Then things happen with like more mystery stuff with like Chase Andrews dying because they're trying to find out like who was his killer. Those parts are like very, very not interesting to me. I really only like Kaya's parts. And then where I just read now was where Kaya actually wrote a book kind of about like, I think it was like, I don't know, birds in the swamp or something like that. But it became like a really good bestseller. She got like an advance for it, so she was able to like buy things for the little cabin thing, shack that they've been living in, that she's been living in like all this whole time. And then actually like Tate came back to see her. She gave him a copy of like her book, and then her brother Jody actually comes back to see her and kind of explains a bit of like why the siblings left and why the mom left, which like I still don't agree with, but apparently like the dad was abusive, and the mom just like had like a just like anxiety, like mental illness, and so she just like had left the kids. And I think she actually like went to her sister's house or something like that, and she had written back like once she realized like what had happened, like when she kind of like came to, she was like, oh my gosh, I left my children there with my abusive husband, and she wrote to him to be like, hey, can I like come get my kids? And he was like, no, like I will literally beat you. So she didn't ever come back to get any of her children, and now she's dead. So she died like 2 years ago, which was actually pretty upsetting to Kaya because she always thought that her mom would come back. But it is nice because now she gets to kind of like have a relationship like with her brother Jody, because he's gonna be like sticking around for a little bit and then going to well, no, I think he was in the military, and then he's gonna maybe go to college after that, I think. But so far that's where we are in the story. Well, I guess I'm actually a little bit further than that. They actually came and took Kaya in, like arrested her for Chase Andrews' murder, because they had like some evidence like saying that people saw her with Chase like on the last day that I guess he was alive. But what we actually read about is that Chase Andrews like tried to rape her like in the marsh, and she ends up like kind of like beating him up and then like running away. But that's like what like fishermen have like saw and witnessed. So she's actually in jail right now, and that's where I currently have stopped. I'm on chapter 42, page 275. But like I still don't think that she is guilty, because like he did get up after that. Like he didn't like from what we read, it sounded like she killed him, but then they were like, oh yeah, Chase Andrews like got up and like walked away or whatever. So I don't know who actually killed him, unless it was like, I don't know, maybe Tate, or maybe, wouldn't it be funny if it was Jumpin'? Like that would be so funny. But anyway, I like, it's not the worst book I've ever read, obviously. It's just very, very boring, and there's not like, it's not a lot of action, there's not a lot of mystery with it. The parts that I love are like Kaya's parts, but it's just like very mediocre, and it's actually like a struggle for me to want to pick it up and be like, okay, let me finish it, because I'm kind of in that mindset where it's like, I don't really care about what happens. Like I could literally just set this book down and never care about the ending ever. That's how I feel about it. So I just don't think it's like the book for me. I know so many people have like loved this book, but if you're like a thriller lover and you love fast-paced things, you don't really like literary fiction or historical fiction, I don't think I would pick this up. Like, don't do it. But I'm gonna finish this out, and then that way I can give you guys my final update on it and my final ranking. Okay, finally finished Where the Crawdads Sing, and I am going to rate this book 3 stars. I think I would have given it like 2 to 2.5 stars, except for the ending actually is kind of emotional, so I had to give it a little bit more, you know, appreciation than what I was going to give it. But in reality, I just don't think that this book was for me. I can see how some people would like the book. I don't understand the hype for the book. I don't know, that's just something that I am clearly missing on. But even with it being turned into a movie, I'm sitting here being like, wow, that's gonna be a very boring movie. Like, make sure I don't watch that movie because it's not going to work for me. So I don't remember exactly where I had stopped with like explaining the whole like synopsis and the plot and stuff, so I'll try and go through what I remember. Kaya is like in her 20s, and I think I told you guys about how she was like publishing actual like books like about the wildlife and stuff, and that's kind of how she made her living then once she was an adult. But she actually does go to jail for Chase Andrews' murder because they for sure think it's her, even though they don't have like hardly any evidence. But just from like some eyewitness accounts that people saw her there, and there was like fibers of like a hat or something like that on him. But there is a whole section in the end of this book, or close to the end of the book, where it's all like a courtroom, which was kind of exciting at first, but it just kept going on and on about whether she was guilty or not guilty. And so I felt like that drug on, even though it had kind of sped up the book a little bit. But she does get out of jail. She is proven not guilty for Chase Andrews' murder, which is great. And then she goes and lives a life with Tate, which was her beginner love. And then the ending is kind of sad because her and Tate actually never have any children, and then she actually dies at a, to me it seems fairly young. I think she dies in like her 60s or 70s, which seems young in my opinion. So that was kind of sad because Tate actually like couldn't find her, and she, I guess, like just died on her little boat thing out in the marsh. So it kind of came full circle of like her dying like on the marsh, which is where she lived all the whole time. But it was pretty sad reading about like Tate's side of view there, where just, you know, he has to go find his dead wife. Like that was pretty sad. After she dies, we do find out though that she actually had the necklace that Chase Andrews, like she had given this to Chase Andrews back when she thought they were like semi-dating, I guess. And then once he was murdered, he ended up not having it on his dead body, which is one of the reasons why they also thought she was guilty. And it turns out that she had been like writing a bunch of poems that actually like she wrote, even though they were under someone else's name. And one of the poems kind of like shed light on her murdering Chase Andrews, and then also like Tate found the necklace, so it was kind of like, oh, she actually did murder Chase Andrews. So that actually was a little shocking to me because I didn't think that she was actually gonna be the murderer. I thought that either Tate was the murderer or Jumpin was the murderer, but no, turns out that she did kill him all along. So that's the whole book. Like literally it was like Kaya's life, trying to figure out who killed Chase Andrews, courtroom drama, and then boom, it's done. And yeah, so I actually would have DNF'd this book if I wasn't doing this video, because it just was not thrilling for me. I had to keep making myself pick it up and be like, okay, I need to finish this video. Like, okay, this has been dragging out too long. I need to finish this video. Let me just read 100 pages. Let me read 50 more pages. Otherwise, I really didn't care about the ending. I didn't care who killed Chase Andrews. I could have easily just let this book go and never have thought about it ever again. So that's what I thought about the book. I don't know, a lot of people love this book, and some of my friends are gonna come at me for rating it so low, but that's okay. I mean, all books are for different people. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, seeing the spoilers and everything included. That's it. I don't have a spoiler vlog planned for next month, but if you have any, I don't know if you probably can't see my shelves, but if you know any books that I have on my shelf and you want a specific spoiler vlog, just let me know, because I'll probably plan one for October. But that's it. I'll see you guys very soon in another video. Bye everyone.